So Nancy Pelosi and House Democrats have been going at it on the issue of impeachment. This is in USA Today. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi dismissed fellow Democrats who say she has set the bar too high for impeachment of President Donald Trump. In an exclusive interview with USA Today, Pelosi said some House progressives have, quote, wanted to impeach the president since the day he got elected. You're wasting your time unless the evidence is so conclusive that the Republicans will understand, Pelosi told USA Today. Otherwise, it's a gift to the president. We take our eye off the ball, the speaker said. Instead of impeachment, Democrats needed to stay united in pushing through legislation that they campaigned on, such as addressing rising healthcare costs and creating jobs. Quote, I'm not going to say it's all about him, Pelosi said Monday during a stop in Ferguson with Representative Leigh Clay. No, it's all about you and you and you, she added, gesturing to an imaginary group of people in front of her. So a few weeks ago, she got a bunch of shit because she said, no, I'm not going to fucking go for impeachment. And people were like, oh my God, that's premature. Oh my God, what about Mueller? Oh my God, if Mueller releases the report and it says that he did, hold Putin's hand and frolic through the meadow and he did treason. Oh my God, how could you say this early that you're not going to do impeachment? Well, now she clarified a little bit and she came out and she said, well, if the evidence is so conclusive that even Republicans will understand, then yes. But outside of that, no. And there were people going after her. And listen, sit down, buckle up, rare instance coming at you here. But I think Nancy Pelosi's right, actually. What people are not taking into account who are for impeachment, like billionaire Tom Steyer and a bunch of people, many of them on the left who are just rabid and foaming at the mouth and they're like, I hate him, we got to get him out. What you're not taking into account is the tremendous amount of political capital you will be wasting on impeachment to then get Mike Pence in power, who will do all of the same shit as Donald Trump, while you also not only wasted your political capital, fired up that Donald Trump base where they're going to do massive turnout in the next election, and you actually give the Republicans a much better chance of winning in the next election. And also, by the way, we have recent history to prove this. What happened when the Republicans went after Bill Clinton and impeached him? What happened? The polls for Clinton shot up because they were like, kind of relax a little bit, okay? And you don't think that's going to happen in the opposite direction? I guarantee you it's going to happen in the opposite direction, especially since people are calling for impeachment right now, and they won't even tell you exactly what they're calling for it about. They're like, I don't know, we should impeach Trump because maybe with Russia or something, I don't know. So what? No, that's not a thing. You can't just, I'm going to impeach you because Russia or something. That's not a thing. You have to, okay, here's the specific thing. Now, let me be clear. Are there certain things you can impeach Donald Trump on? Yes. Is that thing Russia? No. What you can impeach him on is emoluments. So the emoluments clause of the Constitution basically says the president cannot take any money from foreign governments, because then there's an obvious conflict of interest, where if you take money from foreign governments, you might set policy to help those foreign governments and not in the best interest of the American people. That is exactly what he's done in terms of Israel, in terms of Saudi Arabia, and probably in terms of others as well. He's a corrupt businessman, and they've been pouring money into his businesses as he's been doing favors for them, like giving them weapons deals. So you could definitely impeach based on that thing. But the question is, does it happen in a vacuum, and will you get away with it? And the answer is it doesn't happen in a vacuum, and you're not going to get away with it. And you greatly increase Donald Trump's favorability rating. You greatly increase the chances the Republicans win the next election. You turn out his absolutely rabid base. And on policy, you lose everything anyway because Mike Pence is just as bad as Donald Trump. So I think Nancy's right. And for the record, she did say, only if the evidence is so conclusive that it's basically you can't rebut it, then yes. And in that situation, then sure, you got to do what you got to do. And even though you might waste political capital, and even though it might backfire on the Democrats, it's still, on principle, you could argue we have to do it because it is a matter of principle. It's so conclusive, what are we going to do? But other than that, I kind of agree with her default setting. Her default setting is let's not get crazy here. Let's be intelligent about this. And she's right. And actually, it's kind of crazy. She brought up policy. She's like, we're agreeing that it's all about him. No, we need to make it about you and you and you, meaning we need to make it about the policy because that's what governing is supposed to be about, not getting sidetracked with sideshow nonsense. So I kind of agree with her, and this is a very rare instance where I agree with Nancy Pelosi. So in this very narrow way, good for her. Obviously bad for her because she doesn't support Medicare for all or any of the really important policies she needs to, but in terms of impeachment, I don't think she's wrong.